Ugh, that hurts. Ah, Professor. Thanks for stopping by. It's not bad. I was even told I'd be cleared for service starting tomorrow. Besides, I got this scar fighting for you. It's almost like a medal or something. When I thought you were going to be killed for real, my reflexes kicked in. I reacted without thinking. It doesn't mean I've stopped being jealous of you. But come on, I can't help but look up to you. If I'd had the guts to run away from home, I wonder if I would have cared as little about my crest as you do yours. No, but if I thought I could have escaped, I would have tried. I'd leave behind House Gautier and the life of a nobleman and anybody who knew I had a crest. Our home is to the very north of the kingdom. Just across the mountains from us is land inhabited by foreigners to Fodlan. It once belonged to Fargus, but now that the kingdom has collapsed, it's only a matter of time until fighting breaks out. Anyway, that land has been contested for centuries, and all that time, it has fallen to House Gautier to protect it. Actually, our Lance of Ruin has been doing most of the protecting. Those were dangerous times. One wrong step, and we would have lost our relic to the church. My father was afraid that the church would try to keep the lance, so he entrusted it to me. If an emergency arose, I was supposed to be called back home. I guess those very situations are why my family values crests so much. Since I bear a crest, my parents made sure I was never left wanting. My older brother didn't have one, and so when I was born, he was pushed aside. You know, he once shoved me in a well. He left me on the mountainside in the middle of winter, too. Even as a little kid, I understood why he was like that. My mere existence stole everything from him. I have no right to complain when I am surrounded by people who would give anything to bear a crest, but do not. Now, women smile at me for the same reason my parents adore me, and my brother wanted me dead. And I have to meet them all with a smile and a wink, because I have a crest. Yeah, it's late to admit it, but I get you. It would be best just to tell them to heap their empty praise elsewhere. Anyway, it was pretty unreasonable of me to resent you. I'm really sorry about that. And I want to say thank you, Professor. Seriously, thank you. Before I met you, I'd gone my whole life not knowing there was another way for me to live. So, from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad we met.
Oh, hello, Professor. How nice to see you. You caught me off guard. I was actually just thinking about you. Just a moment ago? Well, I am afraid I just do not understand you. When we first met, I sensed something different about you, something mysterious. And now I am convinced your existence itself is very special. Thinking on it, I know it to be true. You have a crest that should have been lost long ago. You wield the sword of the Creator as if it is nothing. Your hair and eye color changed on that day 5 years ago, to the same sort of color as mine and my brother's. I do not know. My brother refuses to speak to me of it. Since then, you have led us into battle, and thus far, we have always come out victorious. Your comrades and colleagues adore you. They believe in you, in your strength. I doubt there is a single soul who is likened to you. Who are you, really? simply do not understand. Whatever the case may be, Having hair like mine is proof that there is something exceptional about you. I may as well come forward with things. I too am unlike others. Surely you recall when I was targeted, specifically for my blood? I may not be special in the ways you are, but my blood is rare. It seems the two of us share a special differentness. I also believe that we are bound together in some way. Of this I am certain. Therefore, I intend to stay by your side and watch over you. Your existence must be preserved at all cost. Certainly those are the words of a hero. Let us unite our powers. Together, we are unstoppable.
Sylvain!
Hey, Felix. I'm glad you're safe.
You irresponsible fool! Protecting me like that? You're so weak and yet you always...
Look, it doesn't matter. As long as you're safe. You can go on living, while I...
Stop kidding around! You're not going to die. I won't let you!
Nah, I won't die on you, I promise. You think something like this could kill me? No way. A little magic will take care of the wound. Some bed rest, then I'm good to go out and do it all over again.
Sylvain?
Oh, come on, that was funny. It's not like you to be so concerned.
You really are a fool. The biggest in all of Fodlan. I thought something was off. There's no way you could die from such a small cut. You're so reckless and inattentive. I thought this might be divine punishment.
Hey, that's not nice. You should be thanking me.
I am grateful. You've been doing this since we were children. Constantly fooling around, but then showing up and helping when we really need you. I'll admit, seeing that smile on your face, I almost want to give you a hug. Almost.
A hug? Did you get hit on the head? Come on. Tell me you want to hug me again. I liked it.
I won't be repeating it, you halfwit. You're obviously fine, so I'll leave now.
You know how we grew up together?
Obviously.
Do you remember the promise we made when we were kids? About sticking together until we die together?
I remember.
Well, I'm really not trying to get myself killed before you. You know that, right?
I know. But I'm tired of these close calls. You have to stop fooling around. Take your training more seriously. You can die whenever you please, but I'm not going down with you.
Okay, I get it. Once I've healed, I'll get my act together.
Then I hope you have a speedy recovery. Sylvain, thank you.
That's what friends are for, Felix.
Oh, how I just love to clean the library room. Just takes a flash of light, and then it all goes boom. A flash, and then a big boom.
If you blow up the library, where will we put the books?
A flash, and then a big ah! What are you doing here, Felix?
I heard singing.
You were watching me again, weren't you?
Well, your skill is impressive, I'll admit.
Oh, today of all days. I knew I should have chosen a different song.
A different song? Like what?
Any of them. The box song, or maybe the dungeon song?
Now those sound interesting.
No, they're just regular songs. Forget it. While you're here, can you help me clean up? I need the books on that shelf up there, but I can't reach them.
Oh, sure, no problem. What? You're not going to sing anymore?
No way! It's too embarrassing. And that song isn't even finished anyway.
Ah, that's too bad. I wanted to hear what happened after the library was blown away.
Hey, don't look at me like that. Okay, fine. If you insist, I'll sing just a bit more. Oh, how I just love to clean the library room. Just takes a flash of light, and then it all goes boom. A flash and then a big boom, suddenly the deed is done. My, what a great job I did. Who says cleaning isn't fun?
Huh. That doesn't really explain what happened with the library. Maybe they'll build a new one?
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
You're following me. Stop.
I am leaving you alone, just as you asked. I may be walking the same way as you, but
What do you want?
you've made it abundantly clear I'm not to want anything from you, including politeness.
I heard a rumor that you're planning to settle down with a noble. You're trying to get close to me, aren't you? You want to marry into House Fraldari's.
Nice try, Felix, but it's not like any old noble will do. I just find you interesting is all. Is that so odd?
Interesting? I'm not interesting. What do you mean?
I've never met a noble so unsociable. Yes, that's the word, unsociable. Other nobles are quick to be friends, even if it's just because they might gain something from it.
The Empire's nobility, maybe. The Kingdom's nobility is a whole different animal.
If they are, so what? You should care how others think of you.
Why? I don't answer to them. All that matters is improving my skill. I'll prove my worth on the battlefield. Those people care so much about appearances they can't even see each other. It makes me sick.
Oh, I agree. What's important isn't how someone looks, it's their true nature. I don't pretend to know your true nature. I don't even have a very good understanding of my own. But I suppose you see mine just fine, don't you? Just a silly girl with no thoughts in her head except for marrying a noble. Yes? Goodbye, Felix.
Flane, what's that you're hiding?
Oh no, my surprise is spoiled. I had brought some fruits for you to cut up in addition to the firewood. I thought some variation might prove amusing.
No, I'm not doing that again. I've got better uses for my sword than chopping up fruit and firewood.
I cannot imagine what could be better than chopping fruit.
Chopping up my enemies.
You say that as though you have many enemies. So you would rather chop people than firewood, is that it?
That's not how I'd put it, but a blade's purpose is to kill. To chop wood, use an axe. To chop food, use a knife. It's simple.
Surely it is not forbidden to use your sword for other things, like chopping fruit. Swords that cut inanimate objects are serving a much finer purpose than those that cut living beings.
What a noble sentiment. But without a blade to cut down your enemies, you cannot win. Those who are weak lose everything and they die. Those who are strong win and live on. I understand why you balk at bloodshed, but you must know that it has a purpose.
And what purpose might that be?
A purpose. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not in the mood to debate you. I'll continue to wield my sword, and if necessary, cut down my enemies.
He certainly is a stubborn one.
Training on your own? You really do work hard.
I hate to break it to you, Sylvain, but there's nobody here for you to flirt with. So there's not much reason to hang around.
You're here, aren't you?
How ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as your face.
You'd really say something like that to a handsome guy like me? I'm crushed. Joking aside, May I join you? I only came out here so I could train too.
Sure, just don't get in my way.
I've been thinking about it, and I really depend on you. Maybe that's weird since I'm older than you, but still.
Hitting on me? Again? Have some dignity, would you?
No, I'm being honest. I thought you'd listen. Hey, I'd like it if you didn't get too far away from me on the battlefield, okay? Just stay where I can see you.
I'll stay as long as I can. You're useless without me, after all.
What? No, I'm saying if there's one thing I can do on the battlefield, it's keep you safe.
Whatever helps you feel better. Stay and protect me then. I couldn't bear it if you went off and died on me while I wasn't around.
I'm pretty sure that's my line.
It's getting late. We'd better head out.
You're right. I'm exhausted anyway.
You haven't been practicing enough. All that time you waste chasing after women would be better spent training. I'll train with you anytime, so just... What's that strange look for?
Well, you're going to think I'm being a jerk or hitting on you or whatever. When we're side by side like this, training, I feel, I don't know, oddly at ease.
I know what you mean. It's probably because we've been friends for so long.
That must be it. Let's never change. Friends forever?
Absolutely. No matter what happens, we'll always be friends, Sylvain.
I've looked everywhere. I guess Sylvain must still have it. Huh? When did this book get here? Wait, this is mine! And there's something sticking out of it. A letter? Dear author, I read your manuscript quite by accident and duly apologize. However, I also write today to inform you that I enjoyed your story tremendously. I laughed and cried as the heroine overcame her many obstacles, growing stronger with each step. Your literary style presents a unique perspective. I could sense you watching over the protagonist. Wow, so many compliments, and so much attention to detail. The girl's failures are as compelling as her triumphs, since authors are told to write what they know. I believe your tale would not have been so convincing were it not for your own experiences. What? My own experiences? That's a weird way to give praise. Who wrote this anyway? Who would read my story so carefully and then write this long letter to tell me about it? Whoever it is, they must be wonderful. Someone like my dear old uncle. I do hope my letter inspires you to keep writing. Looking forward to the next chapter. Your devoted fan, Sylvain. What? Sylvain? It can't be!
Hey, Bernadetta. Did you read my letter?
How long have you been standing there?
I'm sorry, but I fell head over heels for your story. It's so good, and I just had to tell you about it. So, what do you say? Will you write more? Why don't we talk literature over some tea?
Oh, I see your plan now. You're out to humiliate me. Very clever, but I'm not falling for it.
Ah, Dorothea. What are you doing here?
I was actually waiting to see you.
Were you going to invite me out to dinner? I accept.
Yes, I was. I don't think it would be so bad to share a meal with you from time to time.
How about tonight? I'm busy tomorrow.
That's fine by me. What are you busy with, I wonder? Girls? And more girls?
Isn't it an unwritten rule not to ask about such things? But what a curious turn of events. Have you perhaps got an ulterior motive?
No ulterior motives. If you're worried, we can just pretend this conversation never happened.
No, wait! That's not what I meant. I just don't understand why you want my company now, when you've always been so cold to me. Have you perhaps fallen in love with me?
My stomach just got queasy. You know what? Maybe I'll eat on my own after all.
Fine, fine, I get it. You want someone to chase your loneliness away.
Something like that, yes. If you don't want to, I'll ask someone else.
Don't dream of it. It would be my pleasure, milady. And to be clear, the reason you chose to spend time with me is my family, yes? Or is it my crest? Both? I'm just curious about such things. Say I was a commoner. Would you still have invited me to dinner?
Is this really necessary for a simple dinner invitation? Actually, I have a question of my own. Say I was a hoarse-voiced old hag. Would you still be flirting with me? Would you still want to hold my hand and whisper sweet nothings?
That's a difficult question. I have nothing against mature women, but...
Even if you were an old man, I still would have invited you out. If you were a former noble exiled from his family, or an orphan from the streets, my heart cares not. Just kidding. I just wanted to try saying it. Of course it's better that you have money.
You little... Yeah, that's probably true. So, Dorothea, about that dinner?
It would be an honor to have you join me tonight. And let's not talk about things like this over dinner, okay?
Even if I was an old man or an orphan, huh?
Sylvain,
Hi. Why do you look so down? But hey, if you're talking to me of your own accord, can I assume you've figured out I'm not a monster?
I wanted to apologize about my treatment of you earlier, Sylvain. I am not normally one to put stock in such rumors.
Nothing to be upset about. I mean, I've kind of earned that reputation. I've got this sickness. When I see a pretty girl, I can't stop myself from flirting with her. Like you, for instance.
Oh, I am so sorry to hear of your illness. Perhaps my magic will help heal you.
Huh? No, I didn't mean it like that.
No? Are you not ill then?
You know what? Let's move on. Can I take this to mean everything is good between us?
Of course. Sylvain, I look forward to getting to know you without the falsity of rumors.
Great. Would you like to celebrate our new friendship by joining me for a meal?
You would treat me to a feast? That is very kind of you.
A chance to spend time with a sweet girl like yourself? It's a pleasure. Your voice like birdsong, your eyes clear as diamonds. But above all, I'm drawn to your kind and loving heart. I am a captive to your charms, Flayn.
I hear that very frequently. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess a girl as cute as you would get a lot of compliments.
Anyway, what type of meal were you considering, Sylvain? I would love some seafood, followed by a delicious cake. Oh, I am absolutely famished, as I often am. Shall we be on our way?
She's a tough one. Sheltered girls like her usually fall for that kind of stuff. But she's much too savvy, even for a smooth talker like myself.
Almost forgot how spooky this place is. I don't know if I can do this alone. No, I've got to. What use am I to anyone if I can't even handle an empty tower? Here goes.
The doll from my father must be in there. But I'm too scared to go looking for it.
Annette!
Ash, what are you doing here?
Oh, here, I got this for you.
My doll! You went back for it? But why?
Your father gave it to you. I know you said you'd throw it away, but you can't just toss out something so important.
Ash, thank you. I'm so happy. To be honest, I didn't have the courage to go back in there to get it myself. But thanks to you, I didn't have to. And you're afraid of ghosts, right? Were you okay in there all by yourself?
Well, not really. I tried my best not to think about it. My legs shook whenever I did.
Oh, poor Ash. You're safe now, I promise.
Knock it off, would you? I'm okay now. But I'm glad I could help you and see a smile on your face. Look at me, though. A grown man, scared of ghosts. Pathetic, right?
No, I don't think that at all. I think you're something special, Ash. You were really brave, and all for me. That wasn't an easy thing to do. I'm in awe of you.
Thanks. Maybe there is still hope for me as a knight.
Yes, I'll gladly attest to that. I'm sure you'll be a splendid knight. Maybe you'll even outdo my father.
Well, that's a frightening thought, comparing me to someone like Gilbert. But it's a happy one, too. It makes me want to work that much harder.
Annie, do you have a moment?
Is this about what happened when we were shopping? If so, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Not so fast. I haven't properly apologized yet. So, I'm sorry. I got scared. Imagine if something bad happened to you because of me.
Mercy.
You would have just run away if you were on your own, wouldn't you? Instead, you acted defensively because I was there. I dragged you down.
Mercy, you're upsetting me. How dare you say that you dragged me down? You know why I was acting so recklessly? Because I wanted to protect my best friend in the whole world.
Annie.
Do you remember when we first enrolled at the academy? It seemed like everyone was leagues ahead of us and so far out of reach. I felt completely hopeless. But because you were there, I didn't lose hope. So, don't say stupid things about how you dragged me down or how you don't deserve things.
Thank you for saying that. And again, I'm sorry. You're just so important to me. I know I could never find another friend like you. You've stayed by my side through thick and thin. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if anything happened to you because of me.
Mercy, can we be friends again?
Of course, Annie. Friends forever.
Good. I don't know what I would have done if we hadn't found a way to make up.
I'm sorry. I should have said something sooner.
No, I'm the one who should have stopped being so stubborn and said something. You know, now that everything's as it should be, I'm suddenly starving.
That's just like you. Come, let's go for tea.
Ooh, let's! And we should have some Mercy-baked sweets on the side. I think I love you more than just about anything in the world.
You do? Oh, Annie, you're too sweet.
Not as sweet as your baking. I love your baking more than anything in the world, too. Other than you.
Well, I'm always happy to bake for you, Annie.
I'm so happy to have you back. What's wrong, Father? I didn't expect you to summon me.
I carved this on a whim. I wish for you to take it, Annette.
A wooden doll. You used to make these for me when I was a child.
I still do it, when the mood strikes.
It's so cute. It's... Wait. No. What do you want from me?
I want nothing. I was carving and I thought of you. I remembered how happy you would be as a child when I handed one of these dolls to you.
I was back then, but I'm not a child anymore. It's too late for this now, Father. It doesn't make me happy anymore.
Annette.
I was so lonely after you left. I was always alone. I didn't know where you were or who to turn to for comfort. All I could do was look at the dolls you carved for me and remember you, and weep.
If you don't need it, you can throw it away. It is all the same in the end. I am sorry, Annette. I should have given more thought to my actions.
Father, wait! No, this won't do at all. It would be better to throw this doll away. You are too cruel, Father. Of course I could never throw it away.
Ah, there you are. I just checked your room, but obviously you weren't in there.
Oh, you didn't break the door down again looking for me, did you?
Of course not. I'm not unreasonable. I just wanted to discuss something with you.
Discuss? Is that really all? Okay, I can handle that.
Firstly, I'd like to apologize for breaking down your door. I'm sorry. It was perhaps a bit rash. There was a period of time, quite a while ago, when I acted much the same as you. I spent many hours locked away in my own room.
You did? Really?
Really? Because I understood where you were coming from, I knew I had to intervene. At a moment's notice, all you care for could be swept away. At that time, is it better to have wasted your energy hiding away? Or better to have spent it honing your skills so that you can lend a hand?
But even if I did train, what's the point? It's not like it would do much good.
Don't speak so disparagingly of yourself. It doesn't help things. You have plenty of strengths.
No, you think so?
Just look how quickly you sprint back to your room, for example. With more practice, I have a feeling you could outrun most anyone. You're also exceedingly talented in the arts. Surely there's a creative way to apply those talents on the battlefield. Stop wasting your breath and energy on putting yourself down. Just try your best. I'm not giving up on you. You have so much power in you, just waiting to be unleashed.
You really believe all that? That's so nice. All right. For you, Ingrid, I'll do it.
Excellent. Let's be on our way.
Hey, wait! What are you doing? I didn't agree to this! Put me down! Do you have to be so bouncy?
That got us here much quicker, don't you think? Let's begin. Let's warm up by sparring.
Oh, stop, please! I surrender!
Giving in so soon? There's no such thing as surrender on the battlefield.
Help!
Hello, Byrne.
Oh no, what did I do this time? Did I offend you? Is this your revenge?
No, not at all. I just want to talk.
If you promise not to resort to violence, I'll do whatever you want.
Byrne, I've just been worried about you, that's all. When I said I was your friend, you ran away, saying something about your father. Remember?
Vaguely?
I know you've lived through some bad times. If you could tell me about it, maybe I could help?
Oh, I don't know.
Please. Your father's not here now. Whatever it is, you're safe to tell me.
All right. My parents told me never to befriend a commoner. They said commoners are scum, and that they'd crush any that tried to come near me.
Hang on, scum? They called me, commoners. They called us scum?
Yeah, but once, a long time ago, I did secretly make friends with one. A boy. When my father found out about him, he disappeared the very next day. I heard he was found beaten half to death. I never saw him again. Since then, I've been terrified of making friends with anyone, commoners especially.
I never knew that kind of thing really happened. You hear stories, sure, but... Oh, Byrne, I'm so sorry. I'm proud to be your commoner friend.
Dorothea!
Hey now, relax. There's nothing to bawl about. If your dad tried to beat me up, I'd return the favor and then some.
Return the favor?
When I was in the opera, you better believe I had run-ins with the most wicked, terrible men. I survived kidnappings, attempted murders, all kinds of stuff. But you know what? I broke those guys' arms. Snap! It was a thank you for all the trouble they went through trying to hurt me.
You're incredible, Dorothea.
So, now that you know I can defend myself, can we be friends, Byrne?
All right. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yes? What is it?
I'm really sorry about what I said. I shouldn't have called you scary, even if, you are. I said it again. I'm sorry.
It is nothing I haven't heard before. I am well aware of my austere nature, and I am accustomed to the commentary it brings. I do confess, however, that I was slightly hurt to see you flee from me in such abject terror.
Don't be sad. I'll never do it again. I promise. But, I've been wondering, were you really writing a farewell letter?
Ah, that. No, actually. I was composing a fable centered around Saint Indek.
I didn't know you wrote fables. Well, what's it about?
Saint Indek, one of the four saints. He was an extraordinarily shy person. It is said that he spent most of his life in solitude, unable to open his heart to anyone.
I like him already.
He was, after all, a man who hid himself away at the bottom of a lake.
What's that about a lake?
Nothing. Now, something else to know about Saint Indek is that he had incredible skill with his hands. And that skill made him beloved by the people because he constantly applied it to their benefit. The moral of the story is that shortcomings can be made up for with talent and kindness.
I like it. But I don't have any talents like that. I can't even imagine being that helpful to people. Saint Indek must have been really gifted.
Don't be so quick to dismiss your abilities. You and he are actually alike in more ways than one. You possess Indek's crest, after all, do you not?
Yes, I do. You really think we're alike? Now I want to know all about him. Do you think I could read your fable when it's done?
Absolutely. Indek's example is something that we can all learn from.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to see it.
Ingrid, are you familiar with the story of the King of Liberation and the 10 Elites of Fodlan?
Of course. They were the heroes who struck down evil with the power of the sacred weapons, protecting our land and people. Their strength was passed down through the ages, manifesting itself in the crest some of us are born with.
Yes, the 10 Elites certainly possessed great power. But does that make them worthy of worship?
I imagine you ask because they later fought amongst themselves, turning on one another, ravaging the land.
Precisely. Initially, Nemesis and the 10 Elites worked together to bring peace to Fodlan. But soon their ambitions got the best of them, and they clashed, using their sacred weapons on anyone they chose, strong and weak alike. What I mean to say is, possessing strength alone does not make one worthy of respect. Rather, one should be judged by how they choose to use that strength.
Yes, I agree.
If you follow that logic, then you will see it also applies to those who are born with crests. Now think of how your father wishes to wed you to another family's fortune on the basis of your crest.
Yes? What of it?
These are purely inherited qualities. Is it not foolish to judge a person's value by some inherited fortune? That is all a crest is, really.
That's what I think too. Having a crest or not has no bearing on your worth as a person.
I understand that Count Galatea believes he has the right to manage your affairs. I am certain he has his own share of problems. And I do not wish to meddle or lay blame. But if there is anything I should like to say to his daughter, it is this. How you live your life is up to you.
Thank you for your counsel and wisdom, Sedith. I've been thinking a lot lately about what might happen after the war. I will take some time to reflect on what lies ahead. My future.
Brother!
Flayn, is something the matter?
I thought I made it clear that I do not want you meddling in the affairs of me and my friends.
I am not quite sure what you are referring to, but I promise you I would never try to stand in your way.
It has come to my attention that you have been running about asking people what they think of me. Asking everyone!
Well, of course I have. It took me quite some time. But for you, it was well worth the effort. I was able to confirm that you are getting along well with everyone. It was very reassuring.
I cannot emphasize enough how embarrassed I was when I found out. And you have caused such a stir for those whom you questioned. Why, one person even said he feared for his life when you cornered him in the dining hall.
The dining hall? Ah, I know the fellow you are referring to. Yes, I've seen the way he looks at you. I recognized in an instant that he had impure feelings for you. As your brother, I took it upon myself to test his resolve. I merely asked him if he was prepared to lay his life on the line for my beloved sister.
He is nothing more than a friend. Kindly keep out of my social business in the future.
I am happy to see that you are making friends, but you should weigh your options more carefully.
Who I befriend is absolutely none of your business. Do you know what they call people like you? Overprotective meddlers. I am no longer a child. Are you incapable of trusting me, even a little?
Of course I trust you, but as an elder brother, I have a certain responsibility.
As my brother?
Obviously.
Oh, never mind it. If you'll excuse me.
Excuse me, Ash. Do you have a moment? I finally managed to finish cooking a dish, and I would love for you to have a taste.
Sounds good. I'd be happy to. Wow, Mercedes. This is delicious.
I used that herb you suggested. Boiling it gave off such a lovely aroma. I think I used the right amount of spice, too. Even I could eat it without burning my tongue. I'm a much better cook now, thanks to you. I hope you can continue teaching me.
Oh, definitely. I should thank you, too.
Thank me? Even after all the trouble I've caused you?
Seeing you persevere has made me really happy. In fact, you've reminded me of someone I cared about a lot.
Oh, someone you cared about? Romantically? This is all so sudden, Ash. I don't...
I didn't mean it that way. I was actually thinking about my brother.
What a relief. I didn't even know you had a brother.
He was the son of Lenato, my adoptive father. I always called him my brother, though. Failure never got to him. All he'd ever do is laugh and try again. Whenever I was feeling down about a setback, he would cheer me up. He'd say something like, "Don't worry, we'll tackle it together next time." I was always happy to have him around.
He sounds like a wonderful person.
He was. And I get the same feeling from you.
I've done nothing but bother you with frivolous little things. I'm sure I could never be like your brother. But I'd like to stay by your side, if you'll have me.
What do you mean?
I want to be there to help you in times of need or to cheer you up when you're feeling down. I should be able to manage that without doing too much damage.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you, Mercedes. I know I can rely on you. There you are, Ingrid.
Whoa, hi, Ash. You seem excited. What's that you're holding?
A book I found in town. I bought it for you.
For me? Ash, this looks very costly. Antique books like this are never cheap. Wow. The cover is stunning, and the binding is still in fantastic condition.
I drove a hard bargain. Still, I'll probably have to cut back on my spending for a while.
Why did you go to so much trouble?
It wasn't easy, but as soon as I came across this legend, I knew you had to read it too.
Well then, I will read it. Oh, the knight on the cover looks striking.
Fascinating, right? I was captivated from the moment I laid eyes on the cover.
There's an aura of stoicism intermingled with beauty, even amid a gruesome battle. Wait, looking closer at the face, this knight is a woman.
Yes, and she was a real historical figure. She was born into a noble family and bore a crest, but she was accepted into the king's service as a knight. She fought in many battles at her king's side, serving him all her life as his right hand. Oh, sorry, I've said too much. I didn't mean to spoil the story for you. I'm just so excited. I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you for the encouragement, Ash. Living as a knight is certainly not an easy task. I know it will mean much pain, strife, and heartache. But I still want to pursue that dream. Talking to you has reminded me. I'm not the type who gives up easily.
That's the Ingrid I know.
So to start, I'm going to read this book.
Great! When you're finished and freshly inspired, we'll talk about becoming knights. Not the ones in stories either. The real thing.
I look forward to it, Ash. Why are you sighing at me like that? Is my face really so hopeless?
Ingrid, I am trying to think of something polite to say right now. It's as if you have no experience dressing elegantly. At all.
I mean, I don't. Dorothea, I appreciate you taking the time, but yes, we're in the middle of a war. It hasn't been my top priority.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be so hard on you. I was just surprised, is all. A gal like you're a beautiful young noblewoman who somehow has no experience with either makeup or fashion. This is basic stuff, Ingrid. The basics of the basics, really.
It may be basic for you, but I'm only just now learning. Annette has been taking the time to show me, actually.
Still, I can't believe you didn't know anything about it before her.
I was just never interested before. Even as a child, it never appealed to me. Fussy, pretty things always felt unnecessary. And gussying myself up to attract someone has never played an important part in my pursuits as a knight. But you've piqued my interest in all this.
How?
It's not like I'd be dressing myself up just to attract someone. I'd be dressing up for the occasion, specifically. Even if I don't dress up any other time, a special occasion such as this is a good reason to try it out.
Well, yeah. That's why we dress up when we go out. You might meet someone, and you want to look your best, don't you? Get their attention, lure them in.
That's the exact opposite of what I just said. You said previously that dressing up for the occasion is reason enough.
Oh, I just said that so you wouldn't run off screaming.
I see.
My real point is that you're quite lovely even before getting all fixed up. Absolutely bewitching, in fact. So when I'm finished with you, well, Someone looking at you could be forgiven for wanting to pounce.
Could they be? I don't know that I'd forgive them.
Oh, I know. That's why just before I lunge, I'm gonna ask permission.
Permission is not granted. Ever. Just back off.